Friday, the Democrats have managed to finally start the 116th Congress, which precedes the original Congress, which had the Republicans controlling both the House of Representatives and the Senate. Now, in this case, we have the Republicans still retain control of the Senate, but actually gained 2 more seats in the process, but narrowly lost the House of Representatives as a result of the 2018 election. And now that the Democrats have already been sworn in, they have tried to get themselves really, really well known in a multitude of ways. Mostly in terms of infamy. And I'm thinking of not just Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, but also with this representative, Rashida Tlaib. I'm sorry. I'm looking at her last name on the Washington Post, but I don't know how to say that, so I apologize. Anyways, she made a statement which was recorded a while ago that she is going to try her best to impeach Donald Trump, and she used very crude language. Now, I would have to say that this is just the way that she acts as a result of doing that is unbecoming of a congresswoman. I mean, I think that this footage took place before she was sworn in as a congresswoman in the House, but still, this would really look bad on her. Now, I'm pretty sure people would say that Donald Trump would use the same language, but here's the thing: Donald Trump doesn't really use that sort of language. I mean, yes, he did say "son of a bitch" and say "hell," or "bomb the hell out of ISIS," that sort of thing. But it's more in terms of in terms of policy against ISIS, because there are our enemies, and in terms of get that son of a bitch out of here. In terms of the kneeling of the national anthem. That's just Trump giving his criticism on the specific policies that are going on with which he has obviously no influence of, and he cannot do anything more than to criticize. And he didn't even say any names. Now, when Representative Rashida Tlaib says impeach the mother effer, we obviously know what she's talking about, because the Democrats, ever since Donald Trump has been sworn in on January 20th, 2017, they have done everything in their power to try to get him to be impeached. Yeah? Sorry. Okay. Okay. Sorry about that. They have done everything in their power to get the president impeached. Now, they have obviously failed, because now he's already nearly halfway in his presidency. In fact, considering that his presidency started at least January 20th, 2017, his presidency will soon be turning 2 years in 13 days. So, I don't think that there's going to be anything that they can do. Now, in terms of how the guy insulted how Tlaib insulted the president by calling him a mother effer. Again, not only is that makes her look bad for the congresswoman, but it also makes the Democratic Party look bad, because it's obvious that their stances haven't changed. They still hate the president, and they're willing to do everything they can to impeach him. And that's what a lot of these freshmen Democrats obviously want to do. Not just Rashida Tlaib or Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, but a lot of them as well. Although, to be fair, there is not that that big support among the Democrats to support impeachment. It's kind of hard because of the neoliberals and the progressives. They have been divided over this issue. While they both don't like the president, they just haven't really figured out how to impeach him. Or at least the neoliberals haven't found anything that President Trump has made in violation of the Constitution that would be deemed impeachable. In fact, they have went so far as to deal with Mueller probe that so far nothing has come up. Not even the whole rush, not even any idea of collusion, which so far it shows that Donald Trump is not in any way connected to. So, despite that, this new Congress is doing everything in its power to try to make their voice heard and try to again impeach the president, trying to make a name for themselves, and try to do so much with so little. But that's just the very beginning, and I can't believe I actually talked 6 minutes of that. While talking to Anderson Cooper, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez proposed establishing a 70% tax on the very rich. And just thinking about it, I don't understand how she comes up with these ideas. First of all, how would you determine who is the very very rich? You could say that don't say that the entire United States in the entire globe is considered the 1% and the very rich. So you could attack them. So I know that's not what they meant, but still, it's a very broad definition. Second, 70%, just because she would put in a 70% tax rate doesn't mean that all these businesses and these people are going to immediately pay for it. There's going to be loopholes involved, and they will use lawyers and any resource at their disposal in order to get them to pay as less taxes as possible. Now, the lower and middle classes do not have anything of this sort, and even if they did, it would be very expensive for them. Very, very, very expensive. And that's something that definitely would not suit their best interests. Even if, and this is number 3, by the way, even if there are no loopholes, they will suddenly just go to another country. They will invest in another country. They will outsource jobs, outsource the money, and outsource productivity in the United States to any other country where it is cheaper to produce. Why is it that China has grown so big? It's because that they have not as much regulation as the United States. Therefore, it's cheaper and more profitable to produce in China than it is in the United States. Now, if she introduces 70% on these companies and on the upper class, and I think even to the middle class to some extent, it's going to outsource all of the money that the federal government may need in order to run, and it will lead to the collapse of this economy. In fact, I'm pretty sure that this one tax bracket would undermine everything that Donald Trump tried to work on, which is to bring jobs back to the United States, to bring companies back to the United States, to increase manufacturing and industry. I think that this one proposal should be introduced and even passed would just completely annihilate the entire economy. These two situations definitely make me think that this is the radical Democratic Party that's being shown right now. I mean, this is the face of the radical Democrats. And and it kind of scares me to an extent. However, the reason why it's just to an extent is because simply of the 2-year term limit for every congressman or woman in the House of Representatives. They're going to have 2 years in order to do something before they have to go into the next election. Now, considering that people like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and a lot of the freshman Democrats who definitely have progressive leanings or far left leanings are new to this system, I don't think that this is going to help them in any sort of way. I really don't, because of their whole inexperience and naivety when it comes to the job. And the obvious issue that they don't really understand politics, at least in Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's case. She proposes this 70% tax despite the fact that it will not have obvious support among Republicans, and there will be Democrats and other factions within the Democratic Party that will be debating this issue. And also, let's not forget about the individual politicians' own interest when it comes to this sort of bill. I do not think that these freshman Democrats are going to have so much done. I think all they're going to be is all talk and no bite. Or all bark and no bite. Either way, principle still applies. All I think is they're just going to shout everything that the left wants to hear, but they're not going to do a thing. And once the 2020 election occurs, I think that the Republicans may actually gain a few seats and retake the House of Representatives. And honestly, I think that this will just be, would only garner support for President Donald Trump as he tries to get re-elected President of the United States. That's the only thing that this is. They're just going to be obstructionists, they're going to be loudmouths, and not be anything more. In fact, we're already seeing that with the government shutdown and how the Democrats are not trying to work on the wall. We're already seeing that. I think that this is just that due to their naivety, due to their inexperience, and the behavior they're obviously showing, it's going to bite them in the ass in future elections. The closest one, 2020. My name is Noah Me, and I'm the Arc of Truth. Please post your comments down below, subscribe, like this video, and share it with your friends. Bye.
Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountains.